old show. This is the big 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 old show. This
Over 2,000 Toyotas are in stock and on their way to Toyota of Hollywood. Get our lowest price on every Toyota, including Corolla, Camry, Highlander, Tacoma, and RAV4. Like a 2024 Corolla LE, $19,975. Need credit? If you earn at least $500 a week, we want to say you're approved at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Slomin Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Slomin Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Slomin Shield.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty. Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome aboard. We're coming to you live from Caneswear here in Davie. 2655 South University Drive. Come on by. We'll be out here for a couple of hours having some fun. What was that? What'd you say?
A very busy Caneswear.
Yes, a very busy Caneswear. Yes, there are a bunch of folks shopping right now, so that's good stuff. Hair is all wild. There we go. All right, now I think it's under control. You see? All right, now it's somewhat under control. No, it's not. It still kind of popped up. I was gonna get a new Canes hat. I just haven't had time to shop. They have 400 Canes hats. Yeah, on this side, most of them are old logos. Yeah. And then the old logos for the Dolphins, and then they have more over there. They got a bunch of old logo ones. But today I wanted to get a new Canes hat, and I took a couple minutes, but there's too many, and there's a few that I liked. So I haven't been able. So I need a new Canes hat. I have a couple, but I need another one. So I've got to get another Canes hat. But anyway, welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll. We'll have some fun. Kevin Brockway is going to join us at noon. He's the Gators beat writer, so we'll get a little preview of Canes Gators from him. We talked to Manny yesterday. We'll talk to Manny again. Well, actually, you know what? I think what we'll do with Manny, I'll talk to Manny. I think on Saturday I'll do a post game for the Canes game, and I'll have Manny join me instead for the post game show. Is what we're going to do. I'll talk to Manny about that, and we'll get that done. And also we got a big inner game too on Saturday. Also, they take on Chicago on the road. Good thing is that the Canes game's at 3:30, and the inner game is at 8:30. So neither one clashes. I know most of you probably will not watch both. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Messi's not playing. Yeah, I was just talking about that with somebody here. It's like, there's Messi fans. They're not really we don't have Inter fans. We still don't have Inter fans. We don't have enough Inter fans.
You have your hardcore base, but
yeah,
it's not like everybody that shows up at the stadium is not Inter fans.
No.
They're Messi fans.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of tickets now. Since he's been injured, plenty of tickets.
And that price has gone down.
Yeah, bro. It's plummeted. No doubt. No doubt. It has plummeted big time. So, yeah. But big game for them on the road to take on Chicago. So it's interesting, right? I told you yesterday, minus a goal, it was plus 125. Minus a goal today is minus 145. Plus 125 to minus 145. The swing. And so, remember I told you yesterday, I was like, hey, man, this is good. Like, take it. And a complete swing now on that. And somehow Vegas probably, hey, fix that. The hell is that? Yeah, no, that's an easy one right there. So we got all of that going on. All right, plenty of stuff to talk about today. Obviously, we got a lot on the Dolphins side and the elephant in the room and everything else going on. A-Rod, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, Big O, you might be right. We have 3 GMs. I'm recovering from serious medical problems, but I'm alive and I'm here. Well, prayers. I'm glad you are alive, sir. Very happy. And thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. And thank you for, the support. But wow, I hope you feel better, my brother. I hope a quick recovery for you and you're back to 100% as soon as possible. All right. Couple notes. Mike White, by the way, has signed with the Buffalo Bills practice squad. Okay. But it's funny about that story with Mike White. And I know people are going to start to, well, is he going to give secrets?
He's going to teach him our offense, isn't he?
Yeah, all that.
Because he ran it so well.
Yes, exactly. All that kind of stuff, right? But it's interesting how when you're a free agent or you're a backup or you're a backup quarterback, you try to stay in the division because you're so familiar with everything in the division. So the guys played for the Jets, for the Dolphins, and now the Bills. And that's happened with lots of players in the history of time that they end up playing for several teams inside the same division. And there's a comfort zone too, Brett Favre did that too. He went to the Jets, but then he went back to the Vikings. You know what I mean? Just like JT played for the Jets, even though he went to the Redskins. But things like that happen that, and players end up that they play for the Patriots and they play for Miami and they play for Miami and they play for the Patriots. And sometimes they'll go play for the Jets too. And it's just funky like that. And so Mike White ends up now on his 3rd AFC East team in his career. And we'll see how long that lasts if he stays there, because he's not really. And then again, Josh Allen is, one of a kind. So it's not like you're really going to run the same offense when Josh Allen is out. You'll run something completely different.
I mean, you would, but at least if you had a running quarterback, you could still have some of the same plays.
Elements, yeah.
Mike White is a completely different offense if he comes in for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That changes everything.
Yeah. It's just hard to find those that
That's
combination.
true. I wasn't I'm not stating all the
Even
facts. I'm
even to get a backup to be somewhat competent passer and runner, and that's just hard, man. It's really hard. It's a difficult combination, overall. So, but thank you, A-Rod. Appreciate it. And of course, you can always make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And thank you, Ray Martinez. Thank you, sir, for the love, a little Bitcoin love on Cash App. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that immensely. Very nice of you, sir. And he put for Happy Wednesday, take advantage of the dip. Thank you. And you that's exactly what you did on for us on our behalf. And thank you. Because right now Bitcoin's at 59,046. So that is a huge get by you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is a very, very nice one there, Ray. So appreciate it. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, like Ray made a Bitcoin donation. Now, he's also made Ethereum donations too in the past. Appreciate it. All right, so let's get to it. Let's first of all, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about OBJ, Odell Beckham. What happened? Because I was dead set. I told you he was playing in week 1. So there's like a storyline here. There's a certain thing that's going on, right? And one, when we talk about it, okay, so Aaron Brewer has Aaron Brewer practiced in a long time? No. Aaron Brewer hasn't practiced in a long time, right? Not at all. And I told you he would play week 1, right? So it looks like he's set to play for week 1, right? And he hasn't practiced in a long time, and snapping and all that kind of stuff, right? So he's going to have to do some here in the next 10 days to get up to speed and get back at it, right? Anthony Walker, the linebacker, that guy hasn't practiced in a month and a half. Nothing.
not much of any camp, right?
Nothing. Guess what? He made the team active roster, 53. I told you Odell Beckham was running like the wind. Did I not repeat that 1,000 times? And I cannot tell you exactly what I know. Something happened. Now, for those of you that are hardcore to the show and listen every day, you have context because you hear all the stuff that I talk about, so you're able to put it all together. One of the things that I tell you that when it comes to information at times that I struggle with in the building, what is it about? Injuries, right? That they sometimes go MIA on my ass, right? The hardcore people that hear every day, that's happened. Gone MIA on my ass. And so something happened with Odell Beckham because what I was being told made no sense to what happened in the end. So something happened over the last couple of days. I haven't been able to find out. But again, because I haven't been able to find out, it's an injury. And they don't like talking about injuries with the HIPAA stuff and all that. They respect the hell out of that. That they really do. And so that tells me that something happened in between running like the wind and week 1. Okay? And I'm wrong, and that's fine. That's fine. But, I'll give you the other examples. Walker hasn't practiced in forever, dude. It's like 6 weeks or something. He's on the active roster, ready to go. Aaron Brewer hasn't practiced, snap, whatever. He's active, ready to go. I expected Odell the same thing from everything that I was being told and what was going on. And, a year from now, 2 years from now, I'll be able to probably tell you the story, but right now I can't say the story. And so it does not jive. And so that tells me that something happened, and that's why he's on the PUP list. He had some kind of a setback, and they didn't feel good about it. And that's it, because you don't go from what I was being told that he was doing to inactive for the next 4 weeks. So that's where I kind of, because I look at Walker, that guy hasn't practiced in like 6 weeks. And that guy never did anything the entire time. And there he is, ready to go. And Aaron Brewer's got a hand thing and nothing. And there he is. So that kind of was the same thing that was going to happen here. You're not the starting receiver. They can ease you in, active and everything. They don't have to overplay you. They've got a couple of other receivers. But if you can't even take the field, then that tells me that there was some kind of a setback in the process. Because you just don't go, I'm sorry, you just don't go from what you were telling me that was happening to pup list. When there was conviction behind the scenes that he was playing week 1. Conviction. And that's why I had the conviction. You know what I'm saying? Everyone else should be thinking pup list. Of course, he hasn't practiced. It only makes sense that he would, everybody, including my man Omar, everybody had it right thinking, yeah, he's going to the pup list. We haven't seen him on the field. You haven't seen Walker either. And you haven't seen the center either. And they're there. So, yeah, whatever. And that's fine. I'll take the L. I got no problem with it whatsoever. But, remember, Brewer hadn't practiced here. I told you he'll be ready week 1, guaranteed. So I told you he'd be ready. I told you, man, I don't know about when, and sure enough, he's out. This one, I'm surprised I'm wrong, and I'm shocked I'm wrong. But that also tells me something. I'm even more intrigued on what setback did he have, because he had a setback. There's no doubt in my mind he had a setback. Okay? There's no doubt in my mind he had a setback. Because he was going to play week 1. So, what can I tell you? And I don't know if we'll find out. And I know that keep abreast there of the tweet, because Chris Greer is about to talk right now, and he's about to address the meteors. And I'm sure he's going to be asked about that. Now, they can be a little vague because I think we're still in the preseason. We're not in game week where they have to. Next week is when they have to put the official injury report. So very smart that he's talking this week, because he can still be very vague. Next week, you can't be nearly as vague. You have to be absolutely, on point. So he can kind of dance a little bit around it today and avoid it, but we'll see. But he'll answer it. So help me out there, Sean, with that, because we'll definitely need some help in that situation. So that is the story, and we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening and how it all develops. But I was shocked. I got to say, I was shocked that that happened. And in a way where I was trying to reach out to a couple people the last couple days that wasn't getting, and still haven't gotten back. That tells me that something was going on. And so, yes.
Can I ask Oscar one more thing? And
they're not going to tell me, so then I have to report an injury.
Maybe a more minute part of this is you've got back-to-back games, week 1, week 2, basically Sunday, Thursday. Then you travel to Seattle the first 3 games.
Yeah.
If there is a nagging injury or a setback, and he's not going to play in them, there's no reason to keep him active when you have a spot that
use
you
the
can
roster spot.
Exactly. So. Because I think the schedule might also played a little bit into.
No, but what you do is you don't play them on the Thursday game.
Yeah, I get, but then again,
that's all.
Whatever
you play
the injury is,
you play him in the opener, and then the next game
because they didn't keep a lot of receivers.
They have 4 right now. They have 4.
It's like
they have 4. The Ezukanma one. This is what I believe happened with Eric Ezukanma. They got to a point where they said, we're tired of the injuries, because, they waited for you to come back from an injury only to then shine and then go back into a boot. And that's like, okay, dude, enough's already. We can't just, you had the neck last year and all this. Now we don't have time for this. So so that saved Barrios there. And then you'll get Craycraft back. So that'll be your 6. That'll be your 6.
Now, I saw something where, they cut Blake Ferguson.
Yeah, but it's rework the contract.
But I was going to, could they do the same thing with Ezukama or no? Like bring him even cheaper? Practice
squad. Practice squad. They clearly didn't. No, because he's a 4th-round draft pick.
No, I understand.
You're not paying him shit.
That's true. Yeah.
You're not paying him shit anyways.
Yeah, you never worked the really an extension.
Yeah, he's on the 3rd year of a 4th-round deal.
Right.
It's a cheap deal.
I was thinking he was near the contract.
That's penny. This is. I have to think. This is my. I'm assuming here. Okay, I'm assuming they said enough with the injuries. We're done. We just can't. And I think that happened with Chris Brooks. And then he gets injured again. And I think they were like, hey, man, we like you, but, dude, you can't stay healthy. And Wilson's more reliable for us. He may not have your upside, but he's reliable. And so we're going to stay with the guy that has a little less upside, but he's more reliable. And that's kind of, I think, how they went with it. Because Brooks he's been here a short time and he doesn't play much and he gets injured. That's not a good sign for you. And I think they got kind of tired of some of those guys because they're young. It's hard to give up on Ezukama because every time he plays, he does something, but then he misses a lot of time. And if you're unreliable, that's not a gift in the NFL. That's a curse. That is a skill set. Reliability is a skill set. And unfortunately, those guys, their bodies just don't hold up. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of a couple of things going on. I'll go over some more stuff here with the Dolphins. Let me do a little roll call. Oscar Rojas is in the house in Melbourne. Steve Chapman, and he's sad about Ezukama. Let's see. We'll see where things are at. Oscar, Jamie in the house in San Jose. Jimbo. Big O show, new Dolphins season. It's a beautiful thing, baby. I'm surprised about Eazy-E being released with OBJ on the pup and only 4 receivers, but probably because we'll use the tight end. Well, now that you said that, Jimbo, let me throw out an idea for all of you out there because as I was shocked a little bit about Ezukama, right? And even let's say Chris Brooks over Wilson, right? Another shocker was Tanner Connor. He made the roster. Okay. All right. What position did Tanner Connor play before tight end? A wide receiver. What are you short on right now? Okay. Oh, he can catch the ball and he can run like a freaking deer. So if you have Tyreek Waddle and Jonnu on the field and you want to use him as your 3rd receiver as a big guy, or maybe move the other guy inside and put him outside, if you want to do it like that, whatever. Just think about it. Yeah, just think about it. So if you're trying to get by, he knows the system. He's played in it. Will they experiment with the little Tanner Connor? Did they keep him to use him as a big receiver? I don't know. I'm just spitballing because why they kept Tanner Connor, who's constantly injured and inconsistent, is beyond me, actually, because I don't think you needed to keep any extra tight end after the top 3 guys. Just, let's be honest. Halston, Gucci, Fiorucci is probably a better option than this guy, because he's a better football player right now than Tanner Connor. Now, Tanner Connor has a ton of upside. He does have some natural gifts that you can't teach. So maybe that's what they're hanging on, that the natural gifts are so much that if you can mold it, maybe you get something out of it. I don't know. We'll see. They are patient in that sense. But that's the only thing these are the shockers that we're talking about, Azukama, Chris Brooks, things like that. Shocker was Nick Needham for some, not for me. I didn't really think so. But things like that, well, one of the shockers for me was Tanner Connor. I didn't really think he should make the team. He's been given every break in the book, and he flashes, but he never does anything consistently. And he has not earned a spot on the roster, and I wonder why they kept him. And then I started thinking, man, you're short on receiver. He's a former receiver, converted to tight end. Will they experiment with him again? That kind of stuff. I don't know. We'll see. So there's one to think about. By the way, Daquan Jackson has been signed to the Finns practice squad, according to Aaron Wilson. All right. And the Rams signed Neville Gallimore. So the defensive tackle that the Dolphins released was picked up by the Rams quickly. Okay. What else? Miles Deep is in the house. He says, I should be hearing from the owner today. All right. Thank you. Yes. The local number. Yeah, man. 786-754-4664. That's our business line. Yeah, right there. That's the business line. So they can call there. Okay. And if anything, leave a message. I'll call back or something, and we'll definitely get in contact with him. Cosa Nostra, good morning to all. Heard on Sports Radar, Artua was voted one of the overrated ones. I don't really care about that, bro. NorCal in Martinez, California.
How are you overrated if you're always shit on?
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah.
I don't understand it. He can't play. He can't do this. He can't do that. Oh, now he's overrated.
I don't know. Yeah, that's true. You can't overrate something you don't rate high. That's a very good point. Mm-hmm. NorCal is smoking a fatty. It was cool seeing you on 305 Sports Babe Show. Yes. Ashley and Lou had a good time with them yesterday. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Louis Medina in the house. True Fin fan. Kyle Cockrell, Think Blue Dodgers. Checking in from LA, hitting the blunt and smashing the hell out of the like button. I like that. Hit that like button. Enjoy the fatty, but hit the like button. Lenny Pena's in the house. Brett Dodger. G'day, mate. I was sure hoping that Brooks and Azukama would make the final 53. Yep. Strange things, right? Giovanni in the house. Gus 1388. A-Rod, thank you, sir, for your donation. Steven Gonzalez. I say, who cares? I'd rather OBJ get to 100%. Something happened, bro. Something happened. Stephen Harris, good morning. Thank you, sir. Just waiting patiently for week one, he says. Nyborg, Ocala, Joe. I hope we could get Brooks back. He looked solid. Maybe they could get him back on the practice squad. We'll see. So a cheetah, penguin, and a duck walk into a bar. There's got to be a punchline for that. We got to create one, right? A cheetah, penguin, and a duck walk into a bar. We'll come up with it. Morning, all. Chicago is feeling the South Florida this week. Oh, you getting some warmth? Good for you. Nico Jones, Aaron Hernandez, Finns rule. Yes, sir, they did. The Rams got him. One-Eyed Jack. That was an interesting cut-down day, to say at least. Yes, it was. Sam the Man, Skylar Tipton, Eric Scott. Tua time. Okay, hoping for a big old rant today as long I'm not the target. What is it? Air Tito, Big O, do you think something recently changed with the OBJ situation now that we found out? Well, I just talked about it now. You may want to rewind a couple of minutes there, and I just addressed the whole thing. So yes, there's a little bit more to this story. It's just not that simple. Kept the bum burial, shaking my head. Hey, he's a decent possession receiver, dude. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I think right now he might be on the just because who else right
well,
now?
you don't
what
want
do
to because you're not going to overwork Malik.
Yeah, that's what you have Malik, and then what? Maybe who did they keep Jalen? They kept Jalen Wright.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I guess you could put Jalen Wright back there
Yeah,
too
for
as
sure.
well.
Yeah.
But you're not
Yeah.
going to want Waddle and Tyreek and those guys back there
No,
right now.
they're only going to be
River
there.
Craycraft comes back, Barrios will probably be.
Yeah.
I would think him, Tanner Connor, one of those guys would probably be that
Yeah.
guy that gets replaced.
Yeah, Tyreek and Waddle will be there only like in the fourth quarter at the end of a game that you need a score and you're just you got to do whatever you can to try to win that game. George says, Big O, that was a rare one for you. I'll give a pass this time, my brother. Little tidbit to add. We have the bye week for week 5, so you'll get a month and a half to get back to speed. Something happened. Because there's no way that what I was being told was happening, and then he's now there. It doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense. So something happened, and he got injured or tweaked something and scared the crap out of him. You don't go from what I was told he was doing to pup. That's all I'm saying. I can't tell you exactly, but you cannot be physically accomplishing what you told me, and then it's pup. Very simple. Both don't jive. That tells me something happened. And now I don't know how serious is that something. Am I sure he's going to come back after the 4 weeks? I don't know. He has a long history of injuries. But what he was doing to pup makes zero sense. 0 cents. One day I will tell you the story. One day I will tell you the story. And when I tell you the story, you're going to go, yeah, that doesn't make sense. That's all. Lisa Rose, Lisa Rose is a whale. Yeah. Buy this nice little Bitcoin dip under 60. That's how whales think. I bought some this morning too. I'm with you, Lisa. You want to keep giving me this? Let's go. I'll keep stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking my sats. And I'm just going to keep getting my Bitcoin as much as possible. I'm not afraid. I know exactly what's going to end up happening. In fact, for me, I look at this whole thing as a blessing. Every time I think we're going to start climbing out of it, and then I'm like, all right, great. That's fine with me. You want to go down to 55? Let's go. You want to go down to 50? Let's do it. I'm not going to flinch. To me, it doesn't matter. I know what's going to happen. And I see the rich and the powerful scooping it all up. And Lisa has that's how the whales think. And that's what a hodler thinks. That's what Lisa is an investor. That's what an investor does. A gambler is selling now. That's why you got us down here, because the gamblers. And thank you to the gamblers, because it allows people like Lisa and myself and Ray Martinez and Ocala Joe and some of you others out there, Kyle Cockrell and some of the others that are in the crypto. We all do the same thing. Every single one of us. Brooklyn Rob, I'm sure, is out there somewhere. They see this shit. You know what they do? They don't panic. They go and they buy. Smart. I'm not a financial advisor. Neither is Lisa. Neither is any of the other folks that are buying the dip. They're just looking at it the right way. That's all. That's our opinion. Just an opinion. You do what you want. Let's see. Yes, sir.
Got a question for you.
Of course.
Well, actually, I don't know if it's on your sheet today or not, so hopefully
Go
I
ahead.
don't mess anything up. What did you think of the Canes that stuck to the 53-man roster? Some of the late draft picks. You have Matt Lee sticking with the Bengals. You have Javion Cohen sticking, and then James Williams went from safety to linebacker. That's good for
shocker.
No, but I was saying, but that's good for Mario, right? Though too, because that guy's going to end up going again. They're not first round picks like what it's accustomed to, but at least now when there's draft pick, they're sticking. Yes. It's not just like, oh, well, here's this guy, and then you never hear from them. These are guys that are.
That guy's going to end up a pass rusher on the outside.
Yeah. Oh no,
because he's too big.
I think we've said that from the beginning.
It's like he was too big to play in the secondary, bro. It just he has the athleticism, but he didn't have the range in order to really play that position. He's just too big. And so I'm not shocked that they moved him to linebacker. I mean, it's like Keith Tractor Trailer. Keith Tractor Trailer started at safety, went to linebacker, went to defensive end, then went to defensive tackle. You can't go from safety to defensive tackle if you don't have the frame. And James Williams is that guy that has a defensive ends frame, and he was playing safety. Yeah, like he was just freakish. And so you've got to find a place, because the kid is gifted by the Lord. Okay, clearly he has talent, but now it's your job as a coach, unless you're Brian Flores, that you're looking to sabotage his career. No, the normal coaches in the world, they try to look, okay, so I think this is really what you are, and this is where you're going to really maximize your talent, young man. And so he needs somebody to kind of guide him in that area, because he'll never make it in the secondary. Never. And especially at the NFL level. Oh, pobrecito. He's going to try to stay with some of these people in the NFL. There's no shot. There's just no shot, So, yes, sir. What do you got? We got some news?
No, not necessarily news, just a bookkeeping note from Alan Papard. He said the team released offensive lineman Sean Harlow off of the IR with an injury settlement.
Okay.
He was injured in the Washington preseason game. So
sad.
I guess that's another. Does that take him?
No, but he wasn't on the roster.
He was, okay. That's where I wanted to make sure.
He was an injured guy. So that was that's a whole different ballgame. That wasn't counting against the 53. But I mean, what are you going to do? So we'll see. We'll keep up with everything. Dolphins and Chris Greer answering questions for the Meteors.
I don't think it started.
No, not yet. I don't think it hasn't started. I think it may start like at 12 or 12:30 or something like that.
Tua's in pretty good company with that list of overrated quarterbacks, though.
What is
Josh Allen is one, and he's tied with Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
As the overrated quarterbacks.
All
From
right.
Get Up, too, by the way. I don't know why Aaron Rodgers isn't on there, but hey.
No,
we'll see if he
there's
makes
a
it
reason
through
why
the season.
Aaron Rodgers is not there, of course. Tua Time says, morning, Owen Sean Nation, hoping for a big old rant today as long as I'm not the target. You won't be the target. Don't worry about it. Just chill out. You're good. For the first time in 20 years, I'm fired up for a Dolphin season that feels different than the rest. They are set up to make a run. The boys got to get it done. Thank you, Chris Greer. Well, if you listen to some people, they think the world is coming to an end, Let's see. Lewis, I sent a bunch of orders from the shop recently. I ordered a while back, still waiting. Yes, I am waiting. Some of the shirts, I'm still waiting on a couple of shirts, like the bring the logo back, the orange or aqua, something like that. The bigger sizes, you might be in that mix. There's a couple of shirts that I'm waiting for. So yeah, I've sent it. I've been able to get a lot of them out. I still have no, not many. We have like maybe 8 or 9 orders. Unfortunately, Lewis, you might be one of them, but you'll get it, bro. You'll get it, and you'll get a gift and everything for any delays. When I can get them in and out, obviously you guys aren't going to get any gifts. But if there's any delays, I'll take care of you, bro. So it'll be worth the wait. Okay. It'll be worth the wait. Don't worry about it. Ask anybody that got a late order and they're happy with the late order because they got a bonus. They ended up spending less money because they got more for their money. You know what I mean? In other words, your money with me grew like Bitcoin because you got more for your money. You know, you like, oh, I went and I bought a shirt and I got 2. I bought 2 and I got 4. You know, like shit like that happened, you know? So relax. So I'll get it to you, man. I promise you. My word. I'll definitely get it to you. You'll have it now. I can't control some of the other things. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying and I can't. So I'll do my best and then I'll make up for it. And hopefully you'll be happy with it, you know, and that's it. But yeah, I kind of, you know, if you listen every day, I'll talk about it, I'll update people on it. And but eventually everybody ends up happy. So that's the good thing. In other words, you'd rather it be delayed. It forces me to, you know, do a little something extra for you. Anyway, what up, Bo? Thank you, Jean-Luc. True Fin fan, does anyone really think the Bills need Mike White in order to beat us? The Bills and Josh Allen kick our ass every time. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Josh Allen owns our team, unfortunately. That's been the case. He puts on a cape against the Dolphins. Hopefully Weaver can do a little something different. I really like our secondary because with Fuller and with Fuller and Jalen Ramsey, and now the safeties, and then you add the depth that they have. It almost steals a page from Kansas City, that their secondary is really strong. I think that's what's going to happen with the Dolphins, that you're going to have a really strong secondary. And then it's really up to the young pass rushers and then some of the old guys to kind of hold the fort for Phillips and for Chubb towards the end of the year, that hopefully by the end of the year, you'll get, you know, those guys at 70% or something. You're not going to get anywhere near 100. That'll be next year. It's unfair to expect Jalen Phillips or Bradley Chubb to be themselves this year. But you hope that they can get somewhere to 70, 75% by the end of the year, by the time you get to the playoffs. That's really going to be the key, is how much can the front catch up to the back end of the defense? Because the pass rushers, the defensive tackles, because you lost, you know, Christian Wilkins, all of that is very transitionary. The back end, there's a lot of established players. Kendall Fuller knows what the hell he's doing. Jalen Ramsey's a freaking star. Now you've got what's it called? Holland's, you know, healthy. And I think he's going to be used, you know, kind of like Jalen Ramsey, all over the place. Poyer brings a ton of leadership. Marcus May adds a lot. Elijah Campbell has played well. The young kid made it also. The sixth rounder, the safety from the West Coast now. Forgetting it, Patrick, right? Patrick McMorris. All that. I really love the Dolphins secondary. I really love the Dolphins secondary. So there's a lot to it. It's just really the front seven. They've got to kind of survive. That's kind of what it is. It's almost like Weaver's got to get really creative with that front seven until he gets completely healthy. Or, ready, Dolphin Nation? Cross your fingers for this one, okay? Chop and Kamara just come out and they're gangbusters. Then the defense is ready to go. If that happens. But again, is that fair to Chop and Kamara? No, it's not. Is it fair to expect Phillips and Chubb to come back right away and be themselves? No, it's not. We have to be realistic. So we have to count on what's proven, right? Jalen Ramsey's proven, and Holland's proven, and Poyer's proven, and Kendall Fuller's proven. And so this is your strength. right now. The other stuff is kind of a work in progress. And that's kind of how you got to balance it out. So you got to hope for coverage sacks, coverage pressure, that kind of stuff from the defense. The offense, I think, should be fantastic. I'm not worried about that. Jay Gelfin saying, have a wonderful Wednesday, Orlando and Sean and chat crew. 148 in the chat, only 58 likes. Well, we're okay. That was before. We're at 244 watching, 104 in likes. Come on, man. You know, you guys could easily jack us up. I've never seen that. It move 100 just like that. There's 250 watching, and there's only 104 that have liked. That means there's over 150 of you that haven't hit the like button. All it takes is swing over and hit that like button, and that counter will start flying up. And by the way, it gets the algorithms going, and it sends the show out to other folks. You know what I'm saying? Big Cheese Miami, by the way, we will be live there in October. All right? Having some fun. And we'll have our Big Cheese NIL recruiting report on Friday with Manny Navarro. Yes, sir.
I just want to say, and I know a lot of them were poking fun about the Mike White taking the playbook over to Buffalo, but the other part of that whole thing is you still have to have people to cover everybody. On this offense, you still have to match up with these guys, and it's going to be interesting to see, even if you gave them the plays, could defenses be able to match up with some of their skill positions that we have?
Whatever, man. I don't think you can really do as much as you think. You know what I mean? I just they have issues at backup quarterback like everybody else, and they're taking a stab at a guy that knows the division and all that. And sure, I'm sure that they're going to ask him a couple of questions. What do you got there?
It's human nature, right? You're going to ask him like, hey, what are the tendencies? But that's something that defensive coordinators and linebackers and safeties look at film all the time and can pick up on tendencies of certain players and everything. And that's kind of how you make your marks on what you're going to do. Yeah. So, again, Mike White will be there, but everybody that's watched Tua play would know some of his tendencies, and Mike McDaniel's play calling tendencies and things like that. That's where you've got to mix up at. And that's the growing process of everything.
Yep. I'm with you there. Cash App or Venmo, you can always make a donation. Cash App or Venmo. Ho Yoon, thank you, sir. As he made a donation on Venmo, and I appreciate you as always. You're a hell of a supporter of our program. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As he says, a happy Hump Wednesday. Thank you, Ho Yoon. Cash App or Venmo, and you can send in a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation too at the same time. Let's see. Jean-Luc says we're definitely going to make the playoffs if Tua doesn't throw to Cheetah when he's triple covered. Well, that love affair of 2,000 yard stuff, that's over. And even Tua admitted that they were kind of trying to help, Tyreek get there. And that, Jean-Luc, you kind of jokingly have some fun with it, but there's also a little seriousness in it. Just like comedians, right? Comedians will make jokes about things. And yeah, you're making light of stuff to a certain extent, but there's always a little truth in it, right? And there's a little truth in what you're talking about. And there was plenty of moments where Mike McDaniel and Tua forced the ball to Tyreek. And to me, Tua threw more interceptions than he should have this year because he forced the ball to Tyreek and sometimes even forced it to Waddle. And this year, that's why they added the tight end. And that's why I think they're going to be passing to the backs. And that's why they went and got Malik. They're committed to working more options than just Tyreek and Waddle. And I think that's, I think there's some truth to what you're saying, that they can make the playoffs and win in the playoffs. But what's not going to help you is if you're zoned in and focusing on one player all the damn time. That's just not healthy for your offense. So I agree with you 100%. Yes, sir.
Barry Jackson a couple minutes ago. Nick Needham plans to sign with Dolphins practice squad per source. Hayden Rucci, Daquan Jackson, among many others, headed to Miami's practice squad pending waiver claims elsewhere.
All right, so Nick Needham and
Hayden Rucci, and Daquan Jackson.
Oh, okay. Well, we got the Daquan Jackson one already.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going.
Yeah. Aaron Wilson got that. Okay. So all right. So Halston, Gucci, Fiorucci. I may be able to keep that liner there. He's going to be on the practice squad. Nice to see Nick Needham, man. The poor kid after the Achilles. That was a tough go for him. And then he had to deal with the old man last year. Ray Grullon is in the house. Looking forward to the Storm Duck dance after he has an interception. That would be, yeah. Yeah. Waddle, and then yeah. But it's the quack. You think we were gonna quack?
The Hard Rock's got to quack it up for him.
Shouldn't Holland quack since he's a duck? Let's see. When he gets an interception. Yeah. I mean, but what else would there's no like
when the duck gets in the water puddle?
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called, but
right, yeah.
The little dance they do with the
I
don't know if Storm Duck could do that.
But. Yeah, I don't know what habit they have, ducks that we call
they just quack and then walk slow across. He could walk slowly across the end zone and hold up the game. That's what ducks do. They hold up traffic all the time on the back roads.
All right. Now, if he actually got the interception, then flew away. Now we're.
Can Calais Campbell just grab him and throw him?
You know what? He does? I got it. He stashes a duck call thing at the goalpost. So he steals a page from what's the dude from the Saints back in the day that stashed the cell phone? The wide receiver. What was his name? Yeah, Terrell Owens. Yeah, but I want to give the original the love for it because he's the originator of it. The Saints wide receiver that did it. Come on, man. Somebody help me with my brain fart. Joe Horn. Thank you, radio host. Very good. Very good. So Joe Horn for you youngins, Joe Horn hit a cell phone under the goalpost and under the rubber, that mat, that cushion that wraps the post. And he scored a touchdown and he grabbed the cell phone from under and it was a flip phone. It's a flip phone. Yeah. It was 2003. Okay. Flip phone. And he made the call. And so everybody went crazy because that was just a cool way to celebrate. And the fact he had the phone stashed there and everything, that was just freaking awesome. So, others then copied and all that kind of stuff. So like T.O., but I don't want to give T.O., we got to give him the popcorn one. The popcorn, he gets the popcorn one because he said, get your popcorn ready. And he had all that. And so that was cool. That was good.
Think anybody's brave enough to grab the Sharpie and sign the camera?
But Storm can have an interception, run to the goalpost, whip out the duck call, quack, 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 and that's it. And then you know what?
That's where the whole crowd gets behind and starts doing it when he calls the ducks. They answer.
And everybody else brings a duck whistle to the stadium. Okay.
Dolphins need to do that as the first. Actually, every seat. When you get to the seat, it should have a duck call on it.
The Panthers, we throw rats. For the Dolphins, we have a duck whistle or whatever the hell it's called. Duck call, it's called? All right, we go to duck call. So it looks like the Bass Pro fish shops are going to be running out of duck calls because that's what we have to start right now, Dolphins. In fact, Brett here at Caneswear has to make some duck calls now. That's it. We got to create duck calls. That'll be awesome. When Storm has an interception, the entire stadium is making duck calls. It'll be fantastic. Ducks will be shitting all over the stadium. They're going to fly over to the stadium because they're going to hear 70,000 people with duck whistles. And then they're going to crap all over you guys. This will be fantastic. Did I scare you guys now all of a sudden? You don't want to do the duck whistle thing? No, seriously. Duck whistles for everybody. I've called it. Let's do it. Storm duck whistles. That's it. We're gonna have them here at Caneswear. We're gonna sell those duck whistles. That would be, by the way, that would be freaking fantastic. If Storm Duck makes an interception and fans pull out their duck whistles. What do they go for? What? They got some for $8.99. $8.99? There's some up to 50 too. Some to 50? Oh, those are pros. Those are pros.
The Duck Dynasty that's who makes, their Duck Commanders are the ones made by Duck. And there's other knockoff brands. So I'm looking right now, but I'll have mine tomorrow.
That's some deep shit right there. Wow. So we got it. $1.55? $155. Yeah, that's a little fancy. That's a little fancy.
We'll have every duck at Hard Rock with that bad boy.
Damn, dude. Damn. By the way, don't forget out here at Caneswear, you can use our code BIG-O10 and you can get 10% off. Now, on your duck whistles, you can get 15% off. Okay? But only on the duck whistles here at Caneswear. Outside of that, it's BIG-O10, and you can get 10% off everything else you order online, in person, BIG-O10. You're good. But for the duck whistles, we'll give you 15% off, okay? Just saying, BIG-O15 for the duck whistles. Whenever they get here. I don't know. I've made an executive decision without even being an executive here. It's impressive. Got to tell you. Let's see. Big O cheetah, penguin, and a duck walks into a bar. The punchline should be, what's the bar? A zoo? The Hard Rocks, a zoo. Ah, there we go. I like it. I like it. The Hard Rocks, a zoo. I like it. You imagine Storm Duck becoming a great player and the whole stadium makes duck calls. I like it. Oh, it would be fantastic, bro. And the best part would be flocking ducks to the stadium. That would be awesome. In fact, if Storm Duck becomes a star, you all of a sudden have to build a pond somewhere in the place for ducks.
It'd be like Ace Ventura, but instead of the Dolphin, you got a pond over in the end zone, in the corner of the end zone.
With ducks.
Or make a section.
Yep.
Take out a couple seats, put in the duck pond. There you go.
I got to admit, the ducks that are kind of brown with the green top are kind of cool. So, duck calls. Storm Duck makes an interception. The entire stadium is, they throw rats in the arena. We'll have Storm Duck calls at the stadium. Yeah, exactly. Are there penguin calls? Can we do that besides waddling? Oh, man. All right. What's that? What's that? Love it. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Don't forget, folks, Welton Rheaume is a proud sponsor of our program, and you can reach Jeff Welton, Daniel Rheaume. If you have a case, or if you think you have a case, something happened to you a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, you just don't know, statute of limitations. And listen, if you're dealing with bankruptcy, unfortunately, right now, Americans are going into their 401ks, into their savings like never before. And it's all understandable because inflation and everything is so much more expensive. And our dollar has been absolutely just devalued. And that has caused problems for a lot of Americans. If you're dealing with bankruptcy issues, don't be ashamed. That can happen to me. That can happen to anybody. That can happen to all of us, okay? We all pretty much live from month to month, keeping our heads above water, okay? So call Welton Rheaume. They can help you get out of those situations. They're already helping a couple of our listeners already. Homeowner property damage and condo damage. Some of our listeners have called for that. Commercial litigation, personal injury. Some of our listeners have called for that. Auto accidents, truck accidents. They've called for that too. Listen, the consultation is completely free. So you call Jeff or Dan and you find out if you have a case. And then if you have a case, there you go. And listen, if you have some damage from some storm or just a torrential downpour that created all kinds of floods or a broken pipe, don't call the insurance companies. You called Welton Rheaume first. They send their adjusters over. Then they call the insurance companies for you, and you never have to deal with the headache. You never deal with the insurance company. You deal with the stuff that fills your heart. You get that check that replaces all that damage, and that's what you deserve. And a lot of times they don't want to give you what you deserve. Welton Rheaume will make sure you get what you deserve. 954-966-4646. Big O, I'd like to see Storm Duck walk next to a Waddle Penguin Waddle. The stadium sound system should pay Disco Duck. As a matter of fact, someone should do a Storm Duck Disco Duck parody. Okay. Dan says, my job down to 32 to 35 hours a week now. Same hourly pay. My raise was 2019. Yeah. It's not easy for any of us, man. Good morning, y'all. This duck talking, we're going to change the name from Miami Dolphins to the Miami Ducks. A Big O Storm Duck call for the merch store. There you go. I like it. I like it. The animal activist people would complain we are harming the ducks by calling them to the stadium. Nah, we've got food. We're going to feed them. That's all. We're going to be nice. You know? That's all. We just we're gonna try to make the ducks feel at home. That's kind of the idea, man. You know? All right, let's take a quick break. Hour number 2. We're going to start off with Kevin Brockway from the Gainesville Sun. We're going to preview a little Canes and a little Gators, and no better place to get prepared for the Canes and the Gators than right here at Canes, where we got plenty of people shopping for Canes stuff. You're going to go to a bar. You're going to go to a friend's place. You're going to go to a buddy that is a Gators house, but you want to sport your Canes colors. We got anything and everything practically with a Canes logo here at 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Remember, you can order online also, and if you order over $99, you'll get free shipping, and always use our code BIGO10. You will get 10% off at caneswear.com.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
There's just one place to get our biggest discount on a 2024 Acura. Take up to $10,000 off. $10,000 off at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 Acura dealer in the USA.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rheaume. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rheaume.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right, baby. It's hour number 2. We are ready to rock and roll. And with my friend Kevin Brockway, of course, from the Gainesville Sun. Follow him on Twitter at Kevin Brockway G1. Kevin, how you doing, my man? You doing good?
I'm doing good. It looks like you got a lot of gear behind you there, you know.
Yeah, we're at game. Which is the section that's right behind us. So, yeah, man, we got a little messy craziness also down here in South Florida. Really not Inter Miami fans. You're really like Messi fans. It's kind of twisted. It's weird, man. It really is. It's kind of weird. But do we have 2 football teams trying to bounce back and become respectable again? And so, first of all, what do you think about this matchup, man? Because it's two fan bases that are dying to see their programs bounce back and become respectable again.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, 2 coaches too, entering the 3rd year, and Billy Napier and Mario Cristobal, that are really in desperate need of a win. Sellout crowd at the Swamp, which is going to be interesting. Yeah, I'm going to be fascinated, to watch Cam Ward in this game and to see how he reacts to the atmosphere. Now, he played in front of 70,000 last year in Washington in that rivalry game. This is going to be 90,000. I know that you have the radios inside the helmets now for the first year in college football. That may help him a little bit. But, we saw last year Joe Milton get a little rattled by this crowd. We've seen in the past, going back to 2018, Joe Burrow. There have been some good quarterbacks that have come in here that have had some issues. And one thing, I think we both know from following the Canes for the last 20 years is they are a turnover-prone team. They do have those games where they give the ball away. And I think in order for Florida to win this game, they're going to need to do that. They're going to need to force some takeaways, which is something they have not been good at. We're not particularly last year. They only forced 7 the whole season, which was last in the SEC. So I think that's the big thing. I think if Miami plays mistake-free football, they've got the edge on the line of scrimmage. But you do have a first-year quarterback, a first-year running back, playing their first game of the season.
Yeah, and Ward will, from what we see from his history, he'll take some chances. So that will give Florida opportunities. But on the flip side, okay, here's the screwed up part. Florida secondary wasn't very good last year. It gave up a lot of plays. I think they were ranked like 112th, that secondary. So they weren't good. But the problem is Miami's receivers and tight ends, they really haven't developed anything special like they used to do all the time. So this is an area you would think that maybe Miami could take advantage of, but you're not sure if they can because of the receivers. So you tell me, how much more improved is that Florida secondary from last year?
Yeah, well, they brought in a new coach, first of all, Will Harris, to replace Corey Raymond to address some of the issues in the secondary. I do think, Jason Marshall, a guy coming back that you guys don't know down at Miami Palmetto, someone with a lot of ability. Last year he had 10 pass breakups, but no picks. And I do remember him, dropping a potential pick 6 last year in a Kentucky game. So I think they want to see, more interceptions from him. Will Harris is, mentioning the ball hawking ability of the defense. He wants to see that. He's emphasized that in terms of the takeaways, as I mentioned earlier. Jordan Castell, a sophomore safety, I think took some lumps as a true freshman last year. Maybe he had 60 tackles, but, he also missed some, obviously, because of the physicality. He's a year older, a year stronger. I think they think he's going to be very solid in the back end. And then Asa Turner, a transfer they brought in from, Washington, who played under Will Harris there. Another guy who they're thinking as a strong safety will bring some physicality to that position as well. So Devin Moore is the other corner who has to prove that he can stay healthy. But last year he had a big interception in the Tennessee upset. 6'3", a bigger corner, a rangier corner, a guy that can handle bigger receivers. So I think they feel like they have some guys. Sharif Denson, Under Armour All-American, is going to be kind of that star up back position because they play a 4-2-5. Aaron Gates, too, another guy, Bryce Thornton. So they played a lot of young guys last year. I mean, at one point they were starting a true freshman at strong safety and a true freshman at free safety. So I think this year they feel like, they have a little more depth, a little more experience. DJ Douglas, a transfer from Tulane, Jaquezi Bridges, a transfer from Oregon, are 2 more guys that are kind of defensive back safety types that can help there as well.
Okay, now on the flip side, you might be able to take advantage of that Florida secondary. You might be able to challenge it, but I don't know if you have the players to actually challenge it. Okay, now on the other side, here's where I'm kind of confused. The Miami secondary hasn't been very good, but Eugene Wilson and what is it, Bader, the Elijah Bader kid?
Elijah Badger, yes.
Badger, they're pretty good.
Yes.
They're pretty good. And
yeah, they are. Badgers had some issues, I think, because he came in late, and I don't know how up to speed he is yet, but he's got a ton of ability. But another guy is Shamir Dike, I think, is a guy that you're going to want to watch because of the fact that he's got some chemistry with Graham Mertz. They played together at Wisconsin. He got here earlier. He's a guy that runs a 10-800. I think he's the guy earlier in the year that you might see Graham Mertz target a little more with the familiarity. Based on that. Another guy who's had a really good camp is Aiden Mizell, sophomore from the Orlando area, who, last year as a true freshman didn't really play well. He's got very good straight line speed, kind of a track background, but this year really worked on his hands, really worked on his route running, and I think is someone that's going to be a factor at receiver as well for Florida going forward.
So it's kind of screwed up, right? Like the challenges of both sides. Now let's get to the trenches. Okay. That's where I think Miami really, I don't know if I could trust their secondary. I don't know if I could trust their receivers. I don't know if I can trust their tight end. I mean, I like Restrepo, but if Restrepo's your best receiver, you got problems, dude. I mean,
more of a possession guy, right?
Yeah, he's a number 3 or number 4 on a real UM receiving core from back in the day. He's like like a 4, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but here's what I do trust from the Canes. I really like the offensive line. I like their running game. So Florida's run defense going into this game, because Mario also has to have some questions of how much can I trust my passing game? I know I can trust my running game. Let me make sure I can run with these hogs and these running backs. So I feel confident there. Tell me about the challenge for Florida stopping Miami's run.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a huge impact in the game, for sure. And I think that, it starts with Shamar James, who came back for his junior year. This is his third year as a starter. He's coming off the kneecap surgery. And if you noticed last year, Big O, he played in the Georgia game, but he was hobbled in that game. That's when he first kind of re-aggravated and re-injured it. I don't think it was any, coincidence that the Florida defense went south when he was out for the last 4 games of the season. I mean, he is kind of the heart and soul of the front seven in terms of his ability to tackle. So when you have him back, and then I think the second linebacker you added, Grayson Pop-Howard, a transfer from South Carolina, another guy who had a very good spring. I've heard he's carried it over in the fall camp. 6'2", 235 pounds. I think he'll be the starter next to Shamar. Then you also have Derek Wingo from, St. Thomas Aquinas, who, people down there are probably familiar with. Also another veteran guy who's going to be in the mix at linebacker. They moved R.J. Moten there. And then you got the 2 young guys, the true freshman, Miles Graham, Ernest Graham's younger brother, and Aaron Childs, who I think will be there. And, defensive line, Cam Jackson is back. Caleb Banks is back. 2 starters are back there. You've got Joey Slackman, who they added from Penn, former Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year, who I think will factor in the mix there. So I think they've got some run pluggers there. I think it's just going to be a question of, whether they can execute and tackle. But I think that's a huge, the other 2, as you talk about, is pass protection too. How is this offensive line going to hold it?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's where on the flip side of that, what do you think about Miami's defense up against their offensive line?
Well, I think the most important player for Florida in this game is going to be Austin Barber, the left tackle, because I was at that Miami Clemson game last year, and I saw firsthand how Ruben Bain wrecked that game. So you got to protect Graham Mertz. I mean, Mertz was sacked 33 times last year. He's not the most mobile guy. And certainly that, overall they gave up 39 sacks last year because FSU sacked them 6 times when Max Brown was a quarterback. So pass protection is going to be a huge key. I think it starts with Barber, a guy who 2 years ago was a freshman All-American as a redshirt freshman, but then last year had some shoulder issues and only played 8 games. So he's a guy that's going to have to really, step up to that challenge. And you might see a tight end like a Hayden Hansen, who's 6'7", 260, slide in on a little bit of max protection there if Bain gives Barber problems early. Don't be surprised to see that as well. And then, obviously you've got, Najee Harris at left guard, Jake Slaughter at center is an experienced guy. And then the right side of the offensive line, they moved Damian George inside because it didn't work out for him at right tackle. He's a right guard now. And then I think right tackle is the big question mark right now. It's down to 2 people, Cam Waits, who's a returner, and Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon, a transfer from San Diego State, who has a lot of experience, has 30 career starts, albeit at the Mountain West level. But that offensive line is going to have to hold up. I mean, that's going to be a huge factor in that game because that Miami's got a ton of guys in their front seven that are going to bring the heat in that game.
No doubt. They gave up 39 sacks. Canes had 35. And I think they should be a little better this year on the D line. So that matchup there, it's going to be interesting to see if Miami can pressure him because Mertz doesn't make a lot of mistakes. That's the one thing. Like I know he's not the athlete that Ward is, but at least he's super efficient, dude.
Yes. I mean, led the SEC in completion percentage, 72.9%. Very good on the short and intermediate throws, but last year. Only 14 pass plays at 30 or more yards. So they don't take a lot of deep shots. And, obviously up here, fans.
No fun and gun anymore? What
that's a bit of frustration because, the fans up here, they want to see more deep shots. But honestly, in this Miami game, if they want to win the game, I think they're going to have to go quick game. I think you're going to see a lot of that. I think you're going to see a lot of 3-step drops and Mertz get the ball out of his hands quickly in shorter throws and hope for yards after the catch. Because I think if you're going to, put Mertz out there for deep drops the whole game and have him throw deep the whole game, it's not going to take advantage of what he does well, which is short intermediate throws, hitting guys in stride. That's his bread and butter.
All right. Both coaches need this badly, dude, because, I can tell you, at least on this side, while I'm a Mario fan, I have to call it like I see it. He's got to win this. Like he must win. It's not like it ruins your season if you lose, but it takes the wind out of your sails, and you kind of start questioning whether he's the guy on game day, because everything else about Mario you like. You love his recruiting. He's a terrific custodian. He's of the program. He's obviously a great with kids and all that kind of stuff. But on game day, he hasn't gotten the results, and that's the one thing that he's being, that's the main critique of his. If he loses this game, the fan base is going to get really down, unfortunately. And I'm sure that in Florida, if Billy Napier loses this game, especially to the Canes, they're going to be depressed. So there's a lot riding on this game, even though it's not the end-all be-all because it's only game one. But what do you think about this game?
And I think, you talk about it's like a carbon copy when you talk about that. It's the same thing with Billy Napier. It's like, they like him as a custodian of the program here. They think he's recruiting well, but the game day results haven't shown. So I think it's critical for both coaches in that regard to, with the confidence within the fan base and so forth. And some people think that Billy Napier is probably on a hotter seat than Mario Cristobal. Yeah. And he's got the number one schedule in the country that he's facing. Probably a lot more difficult than Miami's schedule. All due respect.
Oh, God, yes. Have you seen Miami's schedule,
yeah.
dude? I mean, please.
Playing in the SEC, that's just the way it is. Yeah. Certainly, from a momentum standpoint, if Billy Napier were to get this win, it would be huge. I think more of the mindset of, he's got to get out of September at least 3-1. Because you have Texas A&M coming in here as well, but you have 3 of your first 4 at home in the month. So he could maybe get away with a loss to Miami if they're competitive and if it's a close game. But he better not lose to both Miami and Texas A&M. I mean, he's got to take care of things in the SEC, and you've got Texas A&M and Mississippi State in September, 2 teams with first-year coaches. So it would be a tremendously bad look if Billy Napier lost to a couple of first-year SEC coaches to go along with losing to Miami. So, but this would set the groundwork. This would create a lot of momentum. Of course, 2 years ago, they beat Utah at home, and everyone thought, this is great for Billy Napier's debut. And then they laid an egg the following week against Kentucky. So I think it's just the totality of it. You want it to build week to week as well. And that's important. And, Florida's won 35 in a row in home openers. And you have to go back to 1989. And Big O, I'm sure you and I were probably wearing stonewashed jeans and parachute pants back then. It was a long time ago for both of us. So it's been a while since Florida's lost a home opener. So I think there will be some grumbling if they lost here in the Swamp.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that long that they've had a winning streak in the Swamp. That's impressive. I mean, that place is impressive. It's not an easy place to play. So what's the prediction in the Gainesville Sun?
I went 20-24 Florida. I think they're going to force a few takeaways in this game. I think that's how they're going to win. I think that's how they're going to have to win. They're going to have to win the turnover margin. I think they will. And I think that's how they're going to get it done is through that, because I do think
you're thinking they're going to force Cam into a mistake or two, don't you?
Yes, I think the crowd is going to play a factor in that. That's how I see the game going. I see them stealing a few possessions. I do think with the turnovers, them only having 7 last year, I do think there is some luck and circumstances that goes into it, because the year before I think they forced about 15 or 20. So maybe they're due. Maybe they're due for a few of those mistakes, and this might be the game where you get them. But some of that has to be forced by the defense as well. You got to be able to generate that too, and you generate it through a pass rush. You generate it through really good coverage in the secondary, and I do think that the secondary will be improved this year under Will Harris.
There you go. Should be a lot of fun, man. We can't wait. I just hope it doesn't end the way you say it's going to end, because That'll be a pain.
We'll say if Miami plays mistake-free football, I think they've got the edge.
Oh, for sure.
But we've followed the Canes long enough, you and I both, to know that that's always that's always been an issue. You go back to the Georgia Tech game last year. You go back to a bunch of games where they've just given possessions away, and that's what kills you.
Middle Tennessee. All right. Anyway, Kevin Brockway, baby, Canesville's son, Kevin Brockway G1 on Twitter. Kevin, enjoy the game, my friend. We will catch up down the line. I appreciate your time as always. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Big O.
You got it, baby. Be good. There you go. The great Kevin Brockway, and of course, the great Larry Schlossberg, also at Acura of Pembroke Pines. And right now, folks, you can get the Integra 2025. The models are rolling in at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And you can get the Integra right now at $349 a month. It is in stock and ready for immediate delivery. The 2024 models, we still have a few. How about the RDX? You can get it for $399, and you can get 3.9% financing for 60 months. The ZDX, you can get electrified. If you are a Conquest or Loyalty customer, you can get the lease at $369 a month, or all other approved leases $479 a month, which is a great deal. The ZDX and 0.9% financing for 72 months. Take advantage right now. Never go to a gas station again. By the way, the state of Florida gives you like 3 different options for the charging. And there's some pretty cool options. There's this one that I think it's like $30 or $40 a month, and it's unlimited charging. So it's cool if you have 1 or 2 cars in your house, and you'll easily cover that. And so check it out at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. It is the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. It's been #1 also in the country, man. That's how amazing they are. It is Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. Joe Shad said that the Miami Dolphins are planning to have Eric Ezukama start off the season on their practice squad. That would make sense if he clears waivers, they get him on the practice squad, and if he's healthy and they're short on receivers, they can use him right away for the week. Yeah, that is possible. As long as he clears waivers, I can see them adding him to the practice squad. Obviously, if he got cut, a lot of those guys could end up, Chris Brooks could end up on the practice squad if he doesn't get picked up. He knows the system already. They like him. It was a numbers game. They didn't want to keep 5 backs. Woodson says, Gators ain't beating nothing but their meat. Go Canes. There you go. Frankie Fresco says, Kevin, you're right. Go Gators. So Fresco is a Gator on top of all of that. Gotta tell you.
Yeah, he went to that school.
Gator. And he likes that weak wrestling league that you diss all the time.
Yeah, all elite. He's Mr. AEW.
The root beer league.
Yes.
So he's a root beer guy and a Gator guy.
Yeah.
Jesus. Can he get anything right? Oh, he's a Dolphins fan.
Yeah, that's the one thing he's got going for him.
All right. Well, he's got that going for him. All right. We'll let you slide, Frank.
And he knows us. I mean, it gets.
Well, I don't know if that helps you in any way, shape, or form.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know. Frankie, don't be sharing our name with anybody. That's not really going to help you. That might get you arrested.
I don't want him sharing my name with anybody, but it's good for him. It's a good rub for him.
No, it's not. Anyway, as much as I feel confident you can't with the Hurricanes, that hurts. Hate that anything can happen with this team now. I know, right? It's interesting because, okay, I'm old enough that I grew up going to the Orange Bowl with my chest out going, yeah, baby, Shula's going to crush you today. Didn't matter who was coming to town. Didn't matter how they were hyped. You were going to get crushed because you were in the Orange Bowl. And then the Canes back in the day, after Howard started to build it up and then took it all the way through with all the other coaches, we felt really confident. in the Orange Bowl going to see the Canes with our chest pumped up and all that stuff. And since we've been at Hard Rock, we haven't been confident in our Dolphins or our Canes. That they have not created that kind of home field. And it has nothing to do with the stadium, has nothing to do with us, the fans, or anything like that. It has to do with the teams. And neither the Dolphins nor the Canes have been themselves what they used to be in the Orange Bowl. Not one of them resembles what they used to be in the Orange Bowl. And that's what both things or both programs are trying to recapture. Dolphins might be a little closer than the Canes right now. But yeah, that's the difference. And that's why you feel like anything bad can happen now. And as a Dolphins fan, we wait for the next bad thing to happen. As a Canes fan, we're doing the same thing. The same exact thing. It's interesting. Both teams leave that stadium, go to a new stadium, and they're never the same again. Now, the Canes were faltering towards the end of the run in the Orange Bowl already. Oh my God, they ended with a, 44-0 or something of Virginia? 44-3 or something? Yes. No, Virginia, wasn't it? I forgot, but I want to say it was Virginia, not West Virginia. But either way, that was already a painful season as it was and all kinds of stuff. So we were kind of headed in that direction, but it's interesting how none of them have been able to recapture the magic that they had in the Orange Bowl. And that's been our real problem. And that's why you feel like that. That's why we walk around without a ton of confidence in either team. You know, sometimes we feel confident early in the season because we haven't played a game yet, but as the season goes, we lose confidence right away. It sucks. It was never like that. It was never like that. It was a nice long stretch where, man, we were invincible, as the guy in GoldenEye. Huh? It was West Virginia, or it was Virginia. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was Virginia. Yeah. I miss the days. Here we go. I'm wearing the shirt. I miss the days when the Canes and the Dolphins in the Orange Bowl, when they are what they are, a superstar, and have no fear. The W's here and the microphone. That's I miss those days. I miss those days. I really do. You think about it, we were spoiled. Man, we were spoiled. That was those are some good times, man. Some good times. 50-0 record at the OB. There's a lot there going on right now. Yep. Let's see. Canes have not been relevant since. They definitely haven't been relevant since 2001. So that's not even up for discussion. Forget the Orange Bowl. Forget the amount of success our football teams have had in the past. Now answer, this is really that it's hard to find some competent heads to run the team. Well, that's what you hope you have now, Hunter Butler. That's what you're hoping, right? You're hoping the Dolphins are trending in the right way, and now you're hoping that the Canes start trending in the right way. They're not trending in the right way. Well, they kind of are off the field and recruiting and NIL and all that other stuff. They are trending in the right way, but they haven't trended the right way in the results yet. And that's what we need. That's the part. But the Dolphins are kind of trending in that way already. Now, you're working on making the playoffs 3 years in a row, so you're trending. Definitely in the right direction. The Gator chomp is a nibble now. Big O, every time Storm Duck gets a pick, the stadium should play the song Walk Like a Duck by Curious and the old school rap song from 92. I don't know that song, Think Blue Dodgers. Walk Like a Duck. I've never even heard of that song. Let's see. If Mario actually figures it out and becomes a good game day coach, Canes then can win. If he still can't figure it out, Canes lose. Yeah. I would agree with that. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar with the great Alan Blanco. And if your business, your club, your school needs custom printing and embroidery, call my guy, Alan Blanco. This is his personal cell number, 786-618-1443. And by the way, this can be anywhere in the country because you do all this stuff by email and by Zooms and all that kind of stuff, and they can ship the stuff to you. So it's not a big deal nowadays. I was thinking about that. You can do that anywhere. So custom printing and embroidery, reach out to the great people that support our platform at 3A Graphics. Nick Needham and Hayden Rucci are expected to be signed to the Dolphin practice squad if they clear waivers, according to Barry Jackson. The Finns also signed DeQuan Jackson, according to Aaron Wilson, to the practice squad. The Rams signed defensive tackle Neville Gallimore, who the Dolphins also released. And on Saturday at 3:30, UM is visiting Florida in the Swamp. UM favored on the road by 2.5. The over and under is 54 points. The money line, UM minus 135, Florida plus 114. On the pitch, Inter Miami will visit Chicago. And Chicago is plus 140 on the money line. Inter is plus 150 on the money line. If you want to give up half a goal, it's Miami minus 145. All right. Minus half a goal for Chicago, plus 130. Also, quarterback Mike White signs with the Bills practice squad. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgot. Dallas Cowboys headed to the Super Bowl, and they're going to win it all. They have signed Dalvin Cook this morning. Have a good one, sir. Practice squad. Dalvin Cook is on the practice squad. That's it. You know, he puts you over the top. Doesn't matter. He doesn't have to play. He can play or be just a good luck charm, hanging on the practice squad. Either way, you sign him, you go all the way, baby. All the way. Yes, sir.
It looks like there's a new trend going on. Not everybody, but some teams are signing. For instance, this was from Adam Schefter. The former Lions safety Tracy Walker signing to the 49ers practice squad with the intention of being called up for week 1.
Right.
So they're signing.
That's what would happen to Ezukama.
Yeah. So
I guaranteed if Ezukama, well, I don't know if he's healthy enough to play, but if he's healthy enough to play, example, they'll sign him and then they'll put him on the because you can sign, you can put him on the active roster, put him back to the practice squad as many times as you want now. So you have that option. Yeah, definitely. Take the Gators on the money line, said Frankie. Gators are plus 114. I mean, think about it, bro. They haven't lost a home opener since 1989, bro. That's like Kerwin Bell and shit. 1989, the last time the Gators lost a home opener. I'm serious. I want to say it might have been Kerwin Bell. I don't know. Maybe Kerwin Bell by 89 might have been in like the Arena League or the World League or something like that. I remember Kerwin Bell played for the Orlando Thunder. The quarterback that had a porn stash, Kerwin Bell. Now, maybe Kerwin Bell was a little bit earlier in the 80s. Might have been mid-80s, not late 80s. I don't know. I have to look it up. What are you looking up the last time they lost? 20 to 24-19 of Mississippi, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. So they lost that game at home, and who was the quarterback? See if you have the box score. Tell me who the quarterback is. 1989. I mean, you Gator fans should be able to remember that. I don't think it was Kerwin Bell. I think it was after Kerwin Bell. Just after. I think. I'm going to guess. Frankie says Kerwin Bell. But are you just saying it because I'm saying the name? He wasn't a bad quarterback, by the way. Anyway, he'll find that for me. By the way, Jazz Chisholm traded to the Yanks. Do you know what he's doing in the Yankees? Do you know where he's playing? Yeah. Another position change for the kid. He's got 8 errors in 16 games. Now, he is batting .293. He's got 5 stolen bases. He's got a .982 OPS, so that's pretty good. But he does have a bunch of errors in 18 games. I kind of feel bad for him, and at the same time, I want to say props to you, man. And I know it's because they want to keep Gleyber Torres in their spot, and I forgot which other guy and all that, so they don't have to move people around. So he's kind of, helping out. But, man, it is anybody that's played baseball and third base, dude. Third base that's a hot plate, man. That is the stingers that are coming at you at third base. I'm not surprised he's made some errors, but to his credit, it has not affected his offense nearly as much. So that's pretty damn good. Props to Jazz Chisholm, man. And he's not in. I know that they've embraced him there. Not an easy city, too. You got to perform. What is it? Lex Smith or Donald Douglas? I'm going to go with Lex Smith, actually. Kerwin Bell left in 87. Okay, that's more like it. Okay. I think it was Lex Smith. What? Shane Matthews was after? Okay. Shane Matthews, who had like a floater of an arm. I remember Shane Matthews. Yeah. Yeah. Frankie says, I was 4. Yeah. And I am old. Because I've been around. So I knew it was just after the Kerwin Bell. Right there. Just after. Let's see, what else do we have? Big O, that's because they played the Sisters of the Poor. Who are we talking about there? Oh, the Gators. I see what you're saying. Oh, it's usually a shitty team. That's right. They usually play bad teams to start off the season. And so are the Canes. They're a 7-win team last year. So, I mean, it's not like the Canes are anything special. They are playing another mediocre team to open up the season. Just happens to be our Canes, you know what I mean? And we're hoping we're no longer mediocre, you know what I'm saying? But it kind of goes with the MO that they don't take on anybody really impressive in that first week, which is true, actually. The Gators have always been notorious. It's a great point by Drago. Fantastic point that I overlooked, and it's factual, that forever they've always played, and lots of teams have done this, where they have a layup to start the season. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's the first couple of weeks. You are correct. You are correct. And the Gators are notorious for that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, their SEC schedule is as brutal as it gets. That I'm not going to take that away from them either. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. The no divisions. Yeah. 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 Yeah, you're screwed. Let's give you a little music. Ooh, excuse me. Wow. I didn't sleep well last night. Oh, I didn't sleep all week, actually. Don't know why either. It's just kind of one of those weird things. All right, let's go with musicians. Leanne Rimes. She celebrating a birthday today, born in 1982. Mary McCartney, by the way, daughter of Paul and Linda McCartney. And she's the mentioned in the song "Let It Be," born in 1969. Jack Black, comedian and musician. Tenacious D, born on this date in 1969. Shania Twain, Canadian singer, country queen. She is born on this date in 1965. Eileen Regina Edwards is her real name. Kim Appleby, born on this date, 1961, from Mel and Kim. Wayne Osmond from the Osmond family, 1951. And that is it for musicians. Let's go with famous birthdays. All right. Here we go. Almost choked, dude. Let's see. Talia Jackson, TV actress, is 23. Jennifer Coolidge, she is 63. I got to say, those commercials of hers, Jesus, they are annoying because they're on all the time already. Yeah, you're doubling this and you're doubling that, and let's just double down and eliminate all those commercials already. Jesus Christ. Those things are annoying, bro. Change up the person. I guess because if you have a successful whatever, the run, the companies, they keep the voice, Yeah, Jesus. Kyle Massey, TV actor, is 33. And Daniel Stern, movie actor, is 67. Jason Priestley, 90210 fame, is 55. You have any wrestlers, sir?
Toxin from TNA back in the day is 34. Rudy Ruiz was born on this date in 1978. And so was Shaniqua. Linda Miles was born in 1978 on this date. Those are your birthdays for August 28th.
All right.
And real quick before you go there, the Dolphins have made a move.
Oh.
They claim former North Carolina Charlotte wide receiver Grant DuBose on waivers from Green Bay. Barry Jackson saying Miami's only move.
I am going to say that guy also plays in the slot.
I do not know. He was the Packers' 7th round pick in 2023. Did not appear in a game, but he was elevated for week 17. I'll have to look into that more, where he was at.
I don't even know who he is. I'm just going to guess that he is a guy that can play in the middle of the field and also be like a returner or something like that. Let's see. Grant DuBose, 7th round pick, wide receiver from Charlotte. Okay, where's let me see his stats. I'm talking about physical stats. Where's his physical stats? How come they don't show 6'2"? 6'2" what? 201. Okay. Did he do any returning? 4.5 40. So he's a possession guy. Work the middle of the field. I bet you he's one of those work the middle of the field guys. 4.5 already tells me you're not working on the outside. That already tells me you're 4.5. I'm sorry. If you're not running 4.35, you can't be on the outside of the Miami Dolphins wide receiver. So 4.5 tells me slot guy. They're going to solve that issue, bro. They're going to solve that issue. One way or another, they're going to solve that issue. Okay? And I wouldn't be surprised if he does a little returning too on the side. Let's go with music history. On this date in 1969, Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney became proud parents of their first child together, Mary McCartney, which we just... That's right. In 93, Billy Joel started a 3-week run at #1 on the album charts with River of Dreams. The singer claimed most of the music on it came to him in his sleep, hence the title. In 97, Calling All Stations, the first Genesis album in 6 years, premiered live on a radio special and simulcast on Atlantic Records website. In 2005, Green Day was the big winner at the MTV Music Awards, taking home 6 Moon Men for Boulevard of Broken Dreams, my favorite song of theirs of all time, including the ones for the video of the year, Best Rock Video, Best Group Video, Best Cinematography, and Best Direction. They also won Viewer's Choice Award for American Idiot, which is a great album. And in 2009, on this date, nearly a year after surviving a fatal plane crash with his friend Travis Barker, DJ AM was found dead in his New York City apartment. And that's what happened today in music history.
Bailey Zappi just moving on up.
Who picked him up?
The Chiefs.
The Chefs.
Yes. To their practice squad. He moved on up. He leaves New England and goes to KC.
Yeah, he'll get real coaching.
And also Frank Gore back to the Bills practice squad.
Okay.
Gore Jr., I'm sorry. Not senior.
Frank, yeah. Those juniors, bro. Those poor junior kids. They have to live up to the legends of their dads. It just, it just rarely happens, man. Frankie Fresco, thank you for the love in the super chat, sir. Sean, you better wear that UF shirt. I will get you after the Gators defeat the Canes. No backing out. You guys got like a bet on now?
Yeah, for our show, if the Canes win, he has to wear a Canes shirt, and if the Gators win, I have to wear the Gators shirt for the broadcast. So I'm going to need help decorating a nice Canes shirt for Frankie Fresco to wear. Maybe I'll give him hats and glasses and everything. I'm here at Canes Wear. We got all that stuff. I'm going to get it all for you, Frankie Fresco. You're going to have it all. And drinking from a Canes mug.
Well, you got to make them like post it on social media and stuff.
Yeah, I don't
Okay. All right. No released Dolphin players have been claimed, meaning all are eligible to sign with the Dolphin practice squad. Yeah, I think except for Mike White, right? That's the only one that was claimed. And that's about it. You are correct, sir. I think so. So you'll get a bunch of those guys back. As soon as I saw that EZ was cut, I thought Tanner Connor was going to make the 53. Well, we'll see I wonder if they use him as a wide receiver to fill in. What happened? What did Verderam put?
He says, Andy looking to play Zappi in week 18 against Denver and flip him for a 3rd rounder.
By the way, from the Patriots. The Patriots will then trade for Bailey Zappi after. That's what they're going to do. Well, wait a minute. You fixed him. Now we'll trade for him. By the way, Bitcoin is at 58,700. That is sweet, dude. That is sweet. I have a friend of mine that, he doesn't invest, but he'll call me when it's like something's bad. So what are you doing, bro? And he thinks I'm going to, and I go, oh, I just bought some more. He goes, really? I trip him out every time. And I'm not a financial advisor, but I don't look at any of this like FUD, like, oh my God, it's over, whatever. No. You want to keep dropping? I'm going to keep loading. Doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter what price I pay. I'm just going to keep buying. You're going to keep buying. You were already at 73, so I know you're going to pass that easily. So you want to screw around 65 or 60 or 59 or 58? Let's go. You want to go down to 47, 50, 53, 50? Let's go. I'm going to, when we were at 16, I remember we had people, it's going to go down to 8,000. I'm like, I don't think so, but if it does, great. Fantastic. I'll try to buy as much as I can. I'll sell everything in my house so I can buy me even more. That's what I'm gonna do. It's just gonna. it almost seems like think about this. I don't want to get too political because you people like some of you get all bent out of shape if I say something about the left or something about the right. But like if Kamala wins, okay, and they're talking about taxing, think about this, taxing you on unrealized gains. Think about this. If they tax you on unrealized gains, so that means every time your house goes up in value, they're going to tax you and you're going to pay taxes on your unrealized gains of your house when you haven't sold it? Huh? I mean, you think about that. It's like, okay, wait a minute. And so now you're going to also, I have to pay property taxes and then I got to pay insurance. And so is it even worth holding a home now? Well, so Bitcoin, man. It's going to grow and you won't have to worry about any of that other stuff. You don't have to buy insurance on it. You won't, it just, anyway, just weird. DeBose can block, says Nyborg. Well, that would make sense. Like the Robbie Chosen one made no sense. That's why I kind of like laughed at it every time. And I don't know, that was definitely a Mike McDaniel thing because I would imagine the front office knew that Chosen wasn't a football player. And he's kind of a aloof, and he's really just a receiver and a finesse one. He's not going to catch in traffic. He doesn't play tough. He's not going to block. You saw it with the Dolphins. Oh my God, he was terrible. It just odd. Sometimes they're weird. So the DuBose thing by Nyborg, if he can block, I don't even know the kid, so I'm not gonna tell you. Oh my God, I know everything about this kid or whatever. I don't know. They must like him. They must have had something on him because if he's a former draft pick of the Packers, and now they signed him, that means he was on their radar at one point or another when the Packers took him. Are the Finns going to get another QB? Sam, I think they are. I mean, I would expect them to get another QB. We'll see.
The well's going dry. Sean Clifford has been claimed. Desmond Ritter's been claimed. A lot of the quarterbacks are they're drying up.
Dude,
the well's getting dry.
Somebody claimed Desmond Ritter?
The Cardinals. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. Hold on a minute. Let me go back in.
I know they released him. Somebody claimed him?
I'm sorry. They brought him back to the practice. I'm sorry. They're bringing added to the practice squad. I missed.
Oh, Atlanta's bringing him back to the practice squad?
I'm sorry. No. Desmond Ritter went to the Cardinals practice squad. Does that mean they claimed him? Or how's that?
So that means they claimed him to the practice squad.
Yes. Then he went back there.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. He is mediocre.
Yeah, because I'm reading off the thing, and I don't know if they're wording it or if I'm wording it.
That would not make me feel good here. Brett goes, I just cannot figure out why so many people don't understand DCA when investing. The key word, they're not investors. That's it, Brett. They're not investors. They're gamblers. They heard what somebody said and they're just buying. Oh, is it going to drop? Should I wait? What do you think? You're not an investor. An investor knows you're not really going to be able to time the top or the bottom. An investor knows that if it's a great asset, then just DCA, dollar cost average into it, and you'll be fine. But a non-investor is the one that acts like that. Just like that fear and greed index. You Brett, you know about this, and some of you may follow that, but most of you probably don't. But there's this fear and greed index that they have for investing and on the crypto side, right? And when things are going crazy and the fear is down like it is now, I think a lot of that, all those people that are voting on that are not really investors. Because I don't have a bit of fear. And Bitcoin dropped. And I have zero fear. I feel like Fred Flintstone wanting a brontosaurus burger. Okay? That's what I feel like when Bitcoin drops. It's like, yeah, I want to eat more. I know where this is going. This is just, we're just like, this is a consolidation period. That's what's going on. I know what's going on. Okay. We're going to start busting out here in this back end of this year and at the beginning of next year. And it's going to go to all-time highs like we've never seen before. I know it's going to happen. But I'm not worried about all the stuff that happens before. I let other people worry about that. I let them panic. I let them sell. I let them get rid of it and lower the number and let me add some more. And that's fine with me. But that's because I'm an investor like Brett. We just dollar cost average, and that's it. That the feature of Bitcoin of the volatility is actually it magnifies, it multiplies your investment. It allows you to grow your investment more than you even thought, because you're able to take the advantage of all those volatile moments when it drops. So this is the fourth drop in this bull run from 16,000 all the way to now. And every time it's been 20, this one's been 30. So that means if you bought all those dips, you've gained all those percentage every single time. You bought the first dip and it went down 20, you gained that 20%. You bought the second dip, you gained 20%. You bought the third dip, you gained 20 more percent. This one went to 73. It went all the way down to 49. Are you kidding me? You bought at 49, 50, 51. You're sitting pretty right now that it's at 58. And when it gets to 65, you're going, man, I bought that dip. And when it gets back to 73 and over, you go, I bought the dip at 49 and 50 and 55. I win. And then it's going to go to the next level, which will be like 90 to 105. And then what's going to happen? It's going to drop into the 80s probably. What do you do then? You know where it was. You buy the dip. And then you make that 20% again. It's there. It's like clockwork, because there'll be it'll shoot up, and then there'll be a consolidation period, and then it'll shoot up. We just can't time the consolidation period. But what some of you don't understand is the consolidation period is giving you an opportunity to make money. All right. Anyway, back to sports. Yes, sir.
Some footage of DeBoe's coming out. Gus sent some, but slot and good special teams player.
Shocker. My God. Slot and I don't know who he is, but
And in the preseason game, the third one, he had 5 catches for 66 yards, and it kind of looked like he's a fit for that style of the offense. Yeah.
So it's interesting. They're looking for more bigger and physical players in the middle, and then they've got the faster, smaller players on the outside.
Yeah, and then also in one reverse sweep, he's the lead blocker, and he takes out the line. Well, not takes him out, but he gets in the way enough of the linebacker to keep. So he's a good blocker too. He knows how to block on there.
Did they put him on the practice squad or on the active roster?
I believe he's on the practice squad. They claimed him to the practice squad now.
Yeah. All right, and they'll probably.
There's so many claiming to the practice squad to elevate another. And this one was a long snapper because their long snapper got injured, but another elevation to.
Okay. I got you. Let's see. Blaine Gabbert is still out there. That's the guy I told you that kind of has like a fit, and that may be the guy they go with. It's not going to be a sexy name, ladies and gentlemen. There are no sexy names. There are no sexy names at quarterback outside of your. Like I told you yesterday or the day before, I forget, they all mold into one damn day for me. It seems like I'm doing a talk show 24 hours a day. We didn't have a starter since Marino. We finally got a starter. I'm happy with that, bro. I'm happy we got our franchise guy. Okay? You want to have Don Strock? So do I, but okay. At least we got a great starter. And that's They'll figure out the backup eventually. And, I can live with it. I can deal with it. I'm fine. I know how it used to be. We didn't have a number one or number two. We were walking around for 25 years like Jeff Ireland. Well, I got 2s and 3s at quarterbacks. I don't have any 1s. We need 1s. I know he was talking about receivers back with King. We got 4, 5s, and 6s. We need to find 1, 2s, and 3s. Oh my God, that was great for Hard Knocks. Wow, people love that one. Did we look like idiots? Anyway, Big O to become wealthy long term, you must get your money to make your money. The magic of compound interest. There you go. Saints cut Jesse Davis like he was cut, claimed, and now cut again. Is that what it was? He was cut yesterday. Oh, okay. So he's just talking about old news now. Okay. I'm thinking because I'm going, wow, did somebody pick him up and cut him again? Like, damn. Alexander Rene Diaz says, what's up? Good morning. People are begging the Dolphins to bring in Tannehill. Yeah, I don't want to hear. That's just stupid shit. We've already talked about that here and how it makes no sense. And I've explained it over and over again. I watched the movie The Last Dragon, talked about a beautiful woman, Vanity, my childhood crushed. Most of you here have no idea who I'm talking about. Vanity, like Vanity 6, like tonight, living in a fantasy, my own little nasty world, tonight, right? Something like that. Do you think I'm a nasty girl, right? Vanity, is that what you're talking about? Vanity, Apollonia 6. Is that what we're talking about? Yeah. 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 Why? What happened? You watched what movie was it? The Last Dragon. That's right. She's in The Last Dragon. God, I don't think I've ever seen that movie, The Last Dragon. I think I've seen like little bits and pieces of it. I've never seen it. Was it any good? Was it even worth it? Did it hold up? Or is it just to watch Apollonia 6? Because for that, I just watch one of her videos. Because, and she's in Action Jackson. She is a smoke show. Was a smoke show. Now she's into religion now. She's a very religious person, and she left that lifestyle behind. Alexander says, I've never seen a fan base that bitches and moans about a long snapper being cut and a 4-string injury prone running back that will probably not see the field over Wright, Achane, and Mostert. Yeah, that they got tired of the injuries. I can deal with that. And if you can cut the snapper and bring him back at a cheaper price, I don't really have a problem with that. As long as you have the snapper, that's it. Oh, she passed away. Vanity passed away. God, I forgot about that. I don't even remember she passed away. Really? Wow, she wasn't that old. Really? Apollonia 6. I don't know what her real name was now. She's got to have that wasn't her name. But whatever her name was, I didn't know she passed away. Or maybe I did and I forgot about it. Wow, that sucks. Bad kidneys. Oh, what a shame. Wow. She must have been no older than 60. She can't be much older than me. I'm 57. I'll be 58. Well, when did she pass away? Oh, 90. Oh, God, yes. She died really young. No. It can't be that long ago that she died. Put your mic on, bro. Because they can't. Well, What is it?
It says near kidney failure, 1994.
Wow, she died a long time ago.
Yeah.
She died what, in her early 40s or late 30s? Jesus Christ, 94. Well, wait a minute. It says she died February 15, 2016. She was 57. I figured she was around my age. Or she was maybe a little older than me. No? Okay. I'll go with True Fin Fan because he's in love with the woman. So, he's watching old movies and crushes on her and all that. So he's got to know when she passed away. So I'm gonna go with True Fin Fan on this. And Alexander also chimes in with 2016. She died on my birthday, says True Fin Fan. Damn. She died a few months before Prince. Okay. All right.
100% correct. I am wrong. In 94, she almost died from a near fatal kidney failure. And then she died from kidney disease on February 15, 2016.
Wow. So she was able to then stave it off for a long time.
Yeah, another
94.
22 years.
Good for her.
So, yes. Sorry, I misread it.
Okay. At least she was able to live a little longer, man. That's health issues, man. Those are the things that we all can't overcome, right? It doesn't matter what you got.
And then Frankie was asking if True Fin Fan farted, blew off a little steam when she passed away.
Probably. So let's see. What do we got? We talked about Azukama, Tanner Connor. We talked OBJ. The Isaiah Johnson cut. That'll be cool. If he clears waivers, they can bring him back because he's kind of intriguing. Nick Needham cut. We talked about Mike White to the practice squad. We talked about the whole Aaron Brewer stuff and Walker and all that with OBJ. We pretty much covered most of everything Dolphins-wise today. And yeah, pretty much. We got it. By the way, Alarmo is ready to protect you anywhere. Well, we're in about 14 different states. You can call them 1-800-ALARM-ME. Sean is protected by Slomin's. My home is protected by Slomin's. And folks, Slomin's been protecting Americans for 100 years now. And listen, if you understand the importance of security, because we all want a little security, well, Slomin's is offering a free home security system and free professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. And their free system includes a panel and keyboard, up to 10 door contacts, window decals, lawn signs, professional installation, lifetime service, communication device, and backup battery. I use it all the time. I love my Slomin's, man. I can keep up with it right here with my phone, anything going on. I can check on my doggies. It's beautiful, man. And they offer top-of-the-line home security systems that are designed to detect intruders, alert the authorities, and give you real-time updates right to your smartphone. With their state-of-the-art central station monitoring center, you'll have 24/7 protection from any threat. So don't wait till it's too late. Protect your home, your family, and your valuables right now with Slomin's Home Security. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Today, schedule your free installation. Start sleeping better tonight. 1-800-ALARM-ME. And tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you at Slomin's Home Shield. Josh says OBJ better not be another Will Fuller. Well, I listen. From what I was hearing, there was no Will Fuller involved in this. This is, to me, all a surprise. So something happened now. Now I'm concerned, where I wasn't concerned before because of what I was being told. Now I'm concerned. And you should be too now, But, hey, Aaron Brewer hadn't practiced in forever, and I was assured he's playing. And Anthony Walker had not hit anybody for 6 weeks. And he's on the active roster and ready to go. I was pretty much assured the same thing, and don't worry about it. And then they gave me a nugget, and I was like, wow, really? Are you shitting me? No. He's playing. And then now he's on the PUP list. So I don't know what to tell you. So OBJ, Chubb, Cam Good, Isaiah Wynn, all on the PUP list. The IR is Cam Brown, River Craycraft, Grayson Murphy, Wyatt Ray, Taj Washington, Keon Smith, Cam Smith, and Anthony Schwartz. That is your IR players that can be brought back also from the PUP list too. So you'll be able to get back some of these guys to help you out. And we told you they signed Daquan Jackson. Barry Jackson reported that if Nick Needham and Hayden Rucci clear waivers, the Dolphins will put them on the practice squad. The Rams ended up signing Neville Gallimore, and that's it. Oh, and Dolphins signed Grant DuBose, a wide receiver that Green Bay released. That is it right there. Big O PJ Walker is available. He's better than Skylar Thompson, but he doesn't know the offense. But PJ Walker is more of a mobile type quarterback, not necessarily a pure pocket passer. So I don't know if that fits what they want to do, doggy. That's where I don't know if that one is a pick for you. Fuller, the man who made the easiest $10 million that anyone could make. Amen. Imagine being a South Florida native playing in Miami and having to go to Buffalo. Poor Mike White. He's getting paid, man. The drones who work at my prescription drug plan are idiots. Just got a call asking if I needed a 90-day supply of colonoscopy prep drugs. But Nyborg, I don't know if you're old enough, but if you are, I hope you've had your colonoscopy. I hope everyone, if you've hit 45, okay, men, women, go get it. Don't screw around. Don't be an idiot like I was. Okay? I was a first-class moron. I waited till I was 56 years old to have my colonoscopy. That is catastrophically stupid. Really stupid on my part. Just dumb. And I got lucky, clean bill, all that stuff. Super lucky. That should not be done by nobody. I was just dumb and I got lucky. Don't do it. Don't be stupid like me. Don't eat Dairy Queen hot dogs in the Panhandle, and don't wait to have your colonoscopy till you're 56. Okay? Please don't do that. And by the way, it's not anything to be ashamed of. They do it in a very respectful fashion. Baptist Health, by the way, I did it with Baptist Health, and easy peasy, baby. And it was well worth it. Let's see. Has Jameis Winston even been released, Alexander? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not exactly sure.
There's rumblings that they will be letting him go, but no decisions have been made yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't. He's not a good decision maker on the field. No, I wouldn't. Not for us. And by the way, I am one of the guys that was wrong about Jameis Winston. Me. I'm one of them. I will admit when I'm wrong. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem at all with that because I'm never going to be perfect. But I like Jameis Winston coming out of FSU. I thought he had it in whatever you needed in order to be successful in this league, and he mentally, whatever it is, it ain't physical. It's all mental. But whatever it is, he's missing something, unfortunately. So I'm at the point now where I don't have any trust in Jameis Winston. So I when you're wrong and you get either you change your mind because you get new information, that's what smart people do. You don't stay ignorant and go against the grain. If you're wrong about something or you were proven right about something because the information then came in, then, That's how life goes. And I liked him coming out of college, but I've watched enough that I said, yeah, this guy, the maturity issues that he had at FSU, they translated to also maturity issues on the field. And he just, if his lack of efficiency is something that is scary at this level. You will not win that way. Nyborg says, got a clean bill of health. Good for you. Good for you. Don't you ever call yourself a moron. You hear me? I'm home and you're a saint. My grandchild shall be called Orlando. That's too kind, my brother. I appreciate you immensely. But when you do something dumb, you gotta look in the mirror and say, hey, you did something dumb. And I waited way too long to have my first colonoscopy. You know, I've even told you guys, I'm going to, he told me, we don't need to see you in 5 years. And I told him, no, that ain't going to happen. I ain't going to wait 5 years, bro. I'm insured. I'll be back in 2 or 3 years just for the hell of it. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Now that I know that it's nothing and it's a joke and it's just, you know, a couple of hours of your life. In 2 hours, you're in and out. Yeah, let me make sure that I'm all good. You know, yeah, I'm not going to wait till I'm 61. Nah, I'm not going to do that. Another year and a half, I'll go again and go like every 3 years or something, you know, just for the hell of it. Screw it, dude. I'm not going to take any chances. And I beg all of you out there, if you're already into your 40s and at least into your mid 40s and up, and you haven't had your first colonoscopy, please go. Please go. Please go. Because I was that guy that was like, oh my God, that's embarrassing. And I'm going to be uncomfortable. And it's so weird and all that kind of stuff. And that's the only reason why I didn't go. And I think a lot of us think the same silly stuff. And then when you get there, you go, come on, bro, it's just a medical procedure. It's not a big deal. And done very respectful. And, you know, and you're done. You walk out and it's all good and you get peace of mind. And, you know, that's priceless in itself, peace of mind. So I beg you all out there for that. I really do. If you're 45 and older, I beg you, please do it. Please do it. Big O, do you have any concerns with the depth at any positions on the roster? Thank you. I appreciate you and Sean. Great job. Oh, I mean, listen, the season's over anyways without Tua, but you definitely don't have what I think is a competent backup quarterback. The D line, I'm not exactly sure because there's a lot of unproven stuff there. You know, I know Calais Campbell and I know Zach Sealer, but like everything else is, you know, there's a bunch of guys there, but I need to see them kind of do it. I'm a little concerned there, my man. You know, that depth is equality. The defensive ends, the pass rushing part of the defensive line, I'm not so concerned about that with the linebackers or the ends because you've got the guys that can do it, you know, and then you've got 2 guys coming back from injury. But overall, you drafted a couple guys. I like what you have there. I love what you have in the secondary. I think the receivers will be fine. I think the tight ends were fantastic. You got a whole bunch of linemen. And you'll get Isaiah Wynn back eventually. Those are probably the areas where I'm concerned. The ones I told you there. That's about it. The quarterback and the D line. But in the end, the quarterback is not that much of a concern because if it's not Tua, you're not winning a Super Bowl. You're not even going on a deep run into the playoffs because your team is not that dominant in order for you to do it. In order for you to win and go deep into the playoffs with a backup quarterback, your team must be a physically imposing team. They've got to be dominant. I don't know if I would call that the Dolphins dominant on defense. And even on offense, it's more of a finesse offense, not necessarily a physical, imposing offense. See what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I would look at it. Big O, don't be ashamed. It's better be safe than sorry. Yep. But thank you, as always, for having my back. True Fin fan. Steven, thank you. Very nice. Dr. Quit says, nice to see you without the hat, brother. Sometimes I forget what you look like without one. Yeah, I deserve that. You know what? I pulled a Mike McDaniel today. You guys thought I was a hat guy. So, I wanted to show you I got hair. There's still some hair here. See? There's hair. There's all kinds of hair. And it's mine. At least for now. Nearly 60 years I'm hanging on to a mop. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, man. Big O, in hindsight, would you pay for Robert Hunt? No, I would not pay for Robert Hunt. I'm not necessarily so concerned about the offensive line. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, as I've said before. So, no, I'm not really that concerned. Your team has to be that 2017 Eagles team where they won a Super Bowl with an elite O-line and defense. Exactly. Stuff like that. Yeah, and I like this team a lot, but I like this team a lot with Tua. Without Tua, they're not going anywhere without Tua. They're not. Because you need to have another elite quarterback behind Tua. You don't have that. You have a guy that's a backup at best or a 3 playing a 2. But you don't have a dominant force like the Bucs and the Ravens of the early 2000s. Or that Philadelphia Eagles team or that Broncos team that carried Peyton Manning. Yeah, something like that. That makes sense. But the Dolphins aren't that right now. So, all right, we thank Kevin Brockway. And, of course, we thank Brett and Jeff and John, all the great people out here that make it nice and easy for us to broadcast here at Caneswear. Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend that masters this program every single day in our entire platform. Of course, we thank all of you that tuned in. If you send in a super chat, don't forget, hit the hell out of the like button, please, before you go. Whenever you're watching the show, hit the like button, podcast, YouTube, all of that. Very important. It gets the algorithms going. It gets the show out there. You can always make a donation. Those of you that did, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show, and we appreciate it. You can always make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, and we always appreciate that. We will see you all tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow we're at Hialeah Park Casino starting off at 3 p.m. We'll see you there. You all be good. Same time, same place, same bat channel.